Hey guys, I want to thank you for coming back. Today, I'll be walking you through how to make an EPK for musicians and what content to include on those 5 basic pages. So, this particular EPK is based on creating 5 pages. There could be 5 or less, depending on how much content you have, and using that content to really streamline the EPK to meet all the necessary fundamentals that are required for an EPK. All right, so before we get started with the basic fundamental, let's start with understanding what an EPK is. So the acronym EPK stands for Electronic Press Kit. It's an essential promotional tool for artists, musicians, companies, or individuals looking to gain exposure and connect with the media, event promoters, and potential partners. The EPK acts as a professional resume, providing a comprehensive and curated package of information and assets that represents the subject. Now, that subject is the entertainer. Now, throughout this EPK, I have Plumi Lewis. He's one of the artists that I worked with, or my company worked with, to build out one of his EPKs. And a couple of weeks ago, we took you through a step-by-step of what that EPK looked like. I did have a couple of people reach out to me asking, how did you decide what content to include in there? How do I know what content to include in my EPK? So this is why I created this presentation, to try to streamline the process and help you. Since I am a digital content writer, I want to make sure that all the fundamentals are in the EPK and can help the next person build out theirs as well. All right, what content to include in a 5-page in a 5 basic page EPK, and I have them right on here. The biography, music and sample videos, high quality photos, press coverage, awards and achievements, contact information, social media, logo and branding, tour dates, and event calendars. Now, mind you, in some instances, you might not have all of these things to include in the EPK. And if that's the case, that's okay. You don't necessarily have to add all of this, but you want to kind of try to add as much of this as possible. So it will take a little bit of time to plan and get everything in order, get the assets and the information in order before you start building out your EPK. But that's okay. You can do it. And if you need a little bit of help, we're here to help. Biography. So let's start out with the biography page. And by the way, that's Plumi Lewis right there. He's one of our artists. He is a singer, a producer, a bass guitar player, and a steel drum artist as well. So he does all those, and we outlined it all in his EPK. But just like any good EPK, we start out with a biography, and it's a brief overview, a short description that gives an immediate sense of who you are and what your brand, product, or band is all about. So that's how you start that out. And then that brief overview should only be anywhere from 2 to 3 sentences. So you kind of want to condense that information there so that people can understand who you are within the first 2 to 3 sentences. Then it's going to further ask you for the full biography later on in the first couple of sentences or pages of the EPK. The full biography will give you detailed background information. It'll include the history, achievements, goals, and unique aspect of your career or company. So this is your way of really introducing them and telling them who you are and giving those fundamental details, such as this case. I've been, for an example, and this is not me per se, this is just an example, but I've been in the industry for over 40 years. I have been a bass guitar player for most of my career. I'm a soloist. I perform with a band. All of these details go into the full biography so that the client or the potential subject understands what they could get by hiring you. So that's a good way to really just introduce them and let them know who you are. Another big thing that should be included somewhere in the EPK, and when you create the EPK, you'll structure it the best fit the way you want it to look. So that will decide, are you going to have music and video samples at the beginning of the EPK, or are you going to have it in the middle or the end? Wherever you decide to put it, it needs to be a strategic plan. So literally rearranging the content and saying, hey, it'll look better here, or it goes well here or there. Whatever you do, that's how you will decide to structure out the information and make it work for you. So in this particular slide, we want to put music and video samples. That's your latest tracks, links to the stream or download the latest music productions. So all of that needs to be there immediately when you're discussing the different musics that you have. Music videos, embedded video content or links showcasing music videos. You can have those music videos hosted on, for instance, YouTube and have a link going to YouTube, or you can have it embedded into the EPK. So when they click on it, it'll either start playing or it'll go directly where you want it to go. But the longer it is, the longer the file is, the more resources it's going to consume when you're going to email it to someone. So just keep that in mind. So you want to keep most of these files living on other places so that you can use those resources to really build out your very own EPK. All right, so now we're moving along. So the next thing that we're going to focus on is high quality photos. This is a given. You want to make sure that your photos are taken professionally. The photos can be promotional photos, live performance shots for artists or the band, or it can either be shots of the product. If you're creating this EPK for your company, you can use those products of the different services or merchandise that you have. But the photos need to be professional and high resolution images and suitable for publication. So images come in very much different formats, but you want to make sure that they are made for publications. Live performance shots, capturing live events to demonstrate stage presence and audience engagement. This is the most abundant key attribute to anything you do in your EPA, because they need to experience you. And if they're able to do that by looking at your stage performance and understanding the energy that you deliver, and this is going to be a given for you. So just want to throw that out there. But each is to each his own. But if you're looking to book other people, you want to make sure that you're providing them with everything that is being requested and asked about or asked of you. The next thing that your EPK should include is press coverage, awards, and achievements. All three of these things are going to give them a good idea and a look into who you are and understand what you're capable of. Press release, official statements regarding important news or product launches, articles and reviews, positive media coverages, including interviews, features, and albums or product reviews. So all of these things help elaborate and build on to who you are. And any accolades or recognitions received over the course of your career or product's existence. This is a good way to let them know that, okay, you are professional, you are reliable, and you're going to deliver what you're going to say, because the best testimony is an award that's given to you for the great work that you've done. So keep that in mind. Next, your EPK should always include contact information, social media information, logo, and branding. Now, I know it seems like a lot, and I put this all on one page, but I did that for a reason, because I felt like all of this could fit strategically throughout the EPK. Generally, I like to try to put the contact information, the social media information, and logo spread out throughout the EPK in multiple times. I don't necessarily believe people should have to flip back to the first or last page to find your contact information or your social media information. They should see it multiple times, the beginning, the middle, the end, or however you strategically place that information throughout your EPK. They should be able to locate it and contact you if necessary. So the direct contact information is management or personal contact details, including emails, phone numbers, and mailing addresses. Social media links can connect to all your social media profiles for up-to-date information and direct community engagement. So that's going to be great. And a lot of people may have a link tree or something of the nature like that. Just having that link so they can click on it, they go to that link tree would be a huge plus when you're dealing with anyone that's looking to hire you or book you, because it's easier for them to find everything in one location. Your official logo in various logo sizes, formats for different uses. And that's very important, sizes and formats, because most people feel like they can create that format their logo in one particular design and use it in that particular format, but it's not necessarily going to always work. So you want to make sure that you have 4 or 5 different formats that come with a general business logo, so that whomever is working with you can use that format to resize it, do what they need without having to reach back out to you over and over to get things done. And then the branding guidelines are instructions on how to use the logo, fonts, colors, and other branding elements properly. If you don't have that information, this is a good idea and a good time to get that information, because you want to make sure that your branding is consistent across all platforms. So that's very much so important. All right, and moving along. The next thing that your EPK should include is your tour dates and calendar of events. And that's upcoming shows, a list of upcoming tours, tour dates or performances. Or if you don't have that, paste past shows, highlights, major past performances or appearances that were noteworthy. So what I like to do is go through your list of past performances and see what information you kept over time, because any entertainer will remember their best performance, their noteworthy performance, and they'll explain it in detail. And you can use that information to build out the tour dates or the calendar of events on your EPK. It could be past events, and you can highlight the ones that are in the most notable places and make sure that it's being highlighted whenever you're dealing directly with them. So EPKs, your electronic press kit, are built for a particular group of people: musicians, bands, actors, filmmakers, businesses and startups, authors, public speakers, and influencers. And I wanted to throw that out there because it's not just for musicians. If you're in any of these industries and you feel that this resonates with you, this is a perfect opportunity for you to invest in an EPK. And if you don't have anyone that's helping you build out that EPK, feel free to contact us at Montfichet & Company Atlanta. Our information's in the bottom of the bio, and we can help you get started. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and good luck, and work hard on that EPK.